Oh, and I forgot to turn on the lights. That's a little better. How's everyone doing? I hope you can hear me. I guess that's the first thing to check is my mic working? Happy day after Thanksgiving for everyone who celebrates Thanksgiving. So the big joke was not only did I forget to have the light on, but actually right as I was going live, I forgot I hadn't turned the camera on either. So I was scrambling to turn the camera on, and no matter what I do, everything seems to go that way. Yes, Frank, it does get dark in the closet. How's everyone doing today? We got Mike from Wicked Insanity and Crazy Joel are hanging out in the basement. I posted the link. I'll bring them up here in a second. But let's see who else we got. I mentioned we got Frank Steeler Fan 820. Marty from MNM Shortline is back with his MNM name. Joe Rader, Black Rock Central Railroad. Steve 87th PSAP joining us. Mr. Hot Dog, aka Mr. Pickford. Let's see. Who else we got? I saw John 2618. Mr. John Farrington's here. And we also have John from Schuylkill River Valley is here as well. I think those are the only two Johns we have here for now, at least. Mr. Leslie Gilpin, how's life in the fast lane over there? Tim, CP368. We also have Norman Rowe. Mr. Chop, Mr. Pork Chop Express. Let's see who else. Anthony Dodge coming in early. Kieran from J94. I just missed someone. Leslie Gilpin, that's who I missed. Welcome, Leslie. Rich, W.S. Bodden. Rich posts on my videos a lot, but I don't think I've seen him yet before. Ray Boble, good morning. And let's start saying hello to
Hi, Ray.
Yeah.
I think I was a parrot. Oh, that's
Mike. Oh, we do have another John. Mystic Southern Railway just joined, so now we have 3 Johns in the house. So Mike and Joel, did you guys do the Thanksgiving thing, and were there any trains involved?
Oh,
I did trains, not just me.
Yeah, we had turkey.
Turkey. Yeah, so Joel, I saw you said if it stays nice, you're going to go out for a ride today.
Yep, sure am. Got my bike all back together, so why not?
Awesome.
Yeah.
And Mike, I saw you were typing a little funny earlier. That was your you were playing a little Diablo 3 and your fingers weren't catching up.
Yeah.
That's a fun game.
Yeah. My fingers got all crampy. My neck hurts, and then I'm a king of typos anyway. Sometimes my fingers are getting a lot better.
Like I said, hands are cramped up. Your neck's.
If it wasn't for spell check, I wouldn't be able to type anything at all. So
yeah. Well,
I'm a terrible speller.
I type with my left hand. I'm right-handed, but I learned to type better when I was playing Diablo 2. But then after I had my first stroke, mostly on this side, I can't use my left hand.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I had to learn all with one finger on my right hand,
Yeah. I've never learned to type. I kind of use 2, maybe 3 fingers and just sort of, punch at it a little bit. But
one finger fast,
my big spelling story when I was, I don't know what grade I was in, but younger kid, and I was sick, so I got all of the spelling words from a friend, and the spelling word that they told me one of the words was colonial or something like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, colonial, I know how to spell that. So I wrote down colonial or whatever. And then when the teacher was giving the test, she says, spell colonel. And I was like, colonel? I don't know how to spell colonel. Like this wasn't one of the words I got. Well, now I know how to spell colonel because they gave me completely the wrong word for spelling. So it's it's all good. Frank, caught you taking a smoke.
I got a vape. Yeah,
Yeah.
stopped using the cigarettes 2 years ago.
I just
Biscuit
quit.
says I hate autocorrect because it doesn't let him curse.
Yeah. I
Welcome,
want the
Randall.
cash. You know.
Let's see. Somerset Andy plays Age of Empires 2, the definitive edition.
Yeah. Once upon a time, I was a big fan of Far Cry 5, you know. Oh, my goodness. I did 24 playthroughs of that. And then my son bought me Assassin's Creed Odyssey. He thought I needed a new game last Christmas.
I think the last game I played was like, what was it called? Pitfall on Atari 2600. I think that was about the end of my playing games. That was it. But
I play less games now that I got a train, you know.
I still hear that horrible sound effect swinging over the line over the tar pits.
Yeah. That I'm sure really dates me. That I started gaming on Atari 20. Well, actually, I started gaming on a Radio Shack Pong game. I don't know if anyone ever had Pong from Radio Shack. Yeah, Martin just says Pong and Breakout. Yep.
Yeah,
I think I helped my brother type Pong in, you know.
Yeah.
Or Space Invaders or something like that out of a book, you know.
Don't have that. I have the original AE2 and its expansion, but doesn't work on Windows 10. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he had like a
Atari system, and it still works.
Yeah, we had a TRS-80 Model 1 ourselves, but ZD Railfan disappeared. ZD, where'd you go? I was just about to click on you. Oh, he's coming back. Joel, I like this new camera. It's much brighter. Whatever you're doing different with this camera is so much better than the other camera. We can see the layout and everything behind you so much better.
It's got better resolution. I want to get one that can zoom in, but it takes money.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good.
Sorry, things come first before the train. That's my bike.
I love Sun Conyers.
Does anyone actually remember in television?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, my girlfriend's sister had that, you know. I love to play that.
And here's ZD, one of our younger members. I'm sure you didn't play with an Atari 2600. It's probably a little before your time.
I mean,
no.
You never know.
Not really.
Somebody should sit him down and make him play a 2600.
Do you play any video games, ZD? Oh, you do train. Don't you play the train stuff? Train simulator?
I'm trying to plan to do that sometime soon. I don't know when yet.
I have Railroad Tycoon 3.
I hate to pick on you, ZD, but your hair is still missing in your green screen.
Oh, it's just the background. I just uploaded that when I went out. It's just that background.
Your hair is not green. I don't know why it disappears when you use the green screen.
That's just a background I upload. It's only a background. It's just my hair. It's just a background.
If you're going for the Scott look, you got to.
Yeah.
Or me or anybody. Any of us with our short hair. So, Frank, while you're actually here, I'm going to mute everyone for a second because I want to talk to Frank for 1 second. And I'm going to share my screen. So, Michael McCarville and Nancy from, I can never remember the name, but Durango, Colorado, some long whatever thing. They decided they'd give away one of these HO starter kits. And Frank was talking to me, and Frank's like, we should give away something as well. So Frank has pushed me I reached out to one of my sponsors, Iron Planet Hobbies, and we ordered this HO kit. So Michael McCarville and Nancy may have started something, but Frank's pushing it forward, and on December 6th, I'll probably post the entry video, which is a week before my Sidetrack Sunday on December 13th. And we're going to give away, it's a whole starter set. It's got the whole loop. It's got the controller, the whole thing. It's Let me, if I go over this way.
Great starter set. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got this little, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit without screwing anything up.
Can't tell if that's an F7 or an F9. I think it's an F7.
I think
but
that's an RF7. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's a, Norfolk Southern, which I thought was a little appropriate because I just saw one. John says, awesome set. Mike says, I wabbit. I think he meant he's
What does that even mean?
Mike,
Wabbit?
it's for a kid. That's going to be the stipulation coming up to it. It's got to be given to a kid.
Yeah, so the way we want to do it is we'll hold a contest to give it away to an adult, but what we're requesting is whichever adult wins, or if you even enter, just that you have a plan to give it to a kid and or like use it around your Christmas tree so that it is for a kid. Frank, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit more about that, just sort of about sharing the hobby with kids and what the plan is.
I mean, we just have to do it. Like we said, we talk about an awful lot about the hobby dying price wise, but there are entry level kits out there. But a lot of us established modelers may look at those and say they're inferior, no sound, nothing. But to get a kid started, to get his love, his interest in them, those are great things, and it can be had for underneath $100. That set there is under $100. I mean, I realize that there's inflation. When I grew up, they were $30, $40, but they're no longer like that. So we're going to have to reach out and do these types of things to get kids interested. I know my grandkids, for one, are hooked. Oh, with the exception of one who's on Fortnite 24/7.
24/7.
24/7. He wakes up when he's not in cyber school right now because of this thing. He wakes up. He eats if he decides to eat. He sits in his chair and he's on Fortnite until it's time for bed. And he'll sit there with his dinner in front of Fortnite. And I don't know why my daughter lets him get away with it, but she does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's better than going outside and throwing rocks through windows and stuff.
I'd rather he throw rocks at windows.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty illegal, though.
I'd rather pay for the window than see him sit there and
Yeah,
I draw the line at guns and fights, but
Yeah.
breaking windows. I did a couple in my time.
So if you do want to contribute to support Frank and I giving away this set, I'm looking to see if Streamlabs has posted it yet, but basically you can send money to my PayPal. It's pay.humancityjunction.com. Hopefully, oh, there it is. It literally just popped up. So, nope,
Keith, your camera's starting to lag a little bit.
Mine or his?
No, mine.
His.
Because I got too much going on.
Too many people in New York hogging up all the bandwidth.
Yeah, so this is it. You can go to pay.humancity.org or you can go to pay.humancityjunction.com, and you can just send money directly to me. So so it doesn't go through Patreon or YouTube or whatever. And
hey, if we go if we go over, we get another kit. That's all there is.
That's all there is to it. Yeah. So it'll be good. I mean, let's see what we can make happen, and who knows?
I had told Heath I was willing to buy this kit myself outright, but he asked if I was willing to let other people contribute. I'm fine with that. But like I said, if we go over and we're not enough for another kit, I'll kick in the whole amount for the other kit. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of what happened on Michael had a stream on Wednesday night and showed off the kit, and people just started donating to him, and he was like, we've already got it covered. You don't have to donate. But then people just really wanted to donate, and Frank wanted to give this kit away. So I said, are you okay if we, open it up to other people? And I think it's a good opportunity to get some, trains running around a Christmas tree for somebody who might not have them. And then, it doesn't have to be for Christmas. I'm Jewish, so I don't usually have a Christmas tree, but, running around the menorah or whatever. Yeah, Mystic says he likes the set because it's NS. But yeah, it does have NNW and Southern cars as well. So it's a pretty cool, little set. But yeah. So everyone's unmuted now. If anybody else wants to say hello, Steve just joined us.
Yeah, hi guys.
Steve, you're not wearing your Blame Heath shirt, and I don't see your Blame Heath mug. What's going on?
Now, in fairness, I'm switched between which way to go here because my Iowa State Cyclones play Texas here in a few minutes. For basically what could be the Big 12 championship. So I had to curtail my Blame Heath and wear my Iowa State jersey.
Nice.
Yeah.
You can wear Iowa State. That's fine. Nobody's allowed to wear Ravens in here.
Is Pittsburgh playing the Ravens today?
Well, no, we were supposed to play on Thanksgiving night.
Oh, they have.
Did it get canceled? I didn't realize it got canceled.
Yeah, 12
Got
of the Ravens
canceled.
came down with COVID.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, I got canceled.
You mean the showstopper, Frank? The
That was
showstopper.
Sunday afternoon. But what's the matter Sunday afternoon? Those players still can't play. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it was bound to happen, but
now they're even talking Monday night, and then move it. But the Ravens have a game next Thursday, which it's a mess.
Yep.
Well, let's get back to trains. Who got some trains for Thanksgiving?
I did today. They came in the mail today, obviously. I've never had these before, but I'm going to try to put them together.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Easy rail.
Yeah, I've never in my local road name here. Let me see here.
Is that HO? Is that HO or N?
HO.
Oh, okay. I used to have HO in the 90s. I'm N scale now.
All right, I
Probably a
don't
bad
want to
idea.
I don't want to sound like an idiot, but I'm in PayPal trying to send some money y'all's way. And I've never done it before, so how the heck do I do that?
Okay, listen, when you're in PayPal, make sure you do this too. Send it as friends and family so that there's no fees involved.
Okay, I'm at send and request.
Yeah, hold on 1 second, Steve. I'll bring it up. Give me
I'll
1
walk
second.
through it.
I've got
He's going to bring it up. Oh, hold on.
I know it off by heart. I can walk them through it.
Yeah, well, for everyone, they can all see it. So give me 1 second. So here it is. So you just go to pay.
Anything like mine.
Well, it's getting there. You'll see. So pay at humancity.org, and this is what should come up. And
so I don't go to PayPal.
Yeah.
No, go type in
pay.
Type in pay.humancity.org, and it'll bring you right to this page here.
I learned something new again.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, and it makes it so much easier. It's it takes you. It's basically PayPal.me or whatever it is, but I just have a URL that'll take you right here.
Did they deduct fees from you?
No. This is set up as just a donation setup.
Okay. Yeah. Just remember, I mean, if you're purchasing something online like eBay or something like that, use PayPal normally. But if you want to send a friend or a family member or somebody you trust money, use the PayPal friends and family. That way, PayPal doesn't take any fees out of it.
Yep. Fred Wild, who was just on Model Railroading Live on Thursday night, if anyone wants to learn more about Fred, says, I like those AccuRail kits.
That was yesterday, though, on Thanksgiving Day.
Sorry, what'd you say, ZD?
See it, D.
I don't know the answer.
What was the question?
How long did it take for me to see it?
To see my donation.
I'll probably get. I'm sure I'll get an email at some point.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll get an email at some point.
Yeah. So I have Mr. Hot Dog hanging. Oh, he just left. Just gonna bring him up, and he bailed.
Oh.
Yeah, Fred was just on Who's Big Bill Talking To on Wednesday night.
Oh.
So you can learn a little bit more about Fred. But I've got Mr. Hot Dog down in the stream. I don't know if anyone wants to say some final parting words, and then I'll bring him up.
Heath, I've been here long enough. We talked about what I had to talk to. I can go down. I'll just listen in.
Yeah, awesome, Frank. Appreciate you doing that, and yeah, I mean it's great paying it forward.
Yeah,
and we'll see how many people we can get. Maybe we will end up giving away 2 sets.
Hey, give away 100. I don't care.
Yeah. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
Just put a bigger smile on my face.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve's saying I'm frozen. I'm definitely having some computer issues these days. One of the things on my wish list is a new computer because my laptop just chokes like crazy.
You look okay on my end.
Oh, oops.
Yeah, you're not pros now.
Yeah, now I'm moving. But, so who here doesn't know Mr. Pictovid?
Me.
I've heard the name and seen him.
Andrew, it looks like you're new around here. So you want to tell us who you are and then what you've been doing for Thanksgiving and trains?
Who I am, what I do. A couple of you, or one of you said you'd seen my videos or channel before. You have, Steve?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Put a link up, Heath.
My channel, Mr. Pictovid, or as Heath has newly named me, Mr. Hot Dog. My channel focuses just around model trains. It's something that started just uploading videos, and seems like over time more and more people have taken a liking to it. I think I went past 2,000 subscribers here a few weeks ago, and I do a lot. Well, I don't do a lot with train shows right now because there's not a whole lot going on. But in the past, I'd go to local train shows and film the modular layouts and that they would set up. I've got my own garden railroad outside. There's some of my G scale that's behind me. So I've done quite a few videos on my layout this year. Mainly it's just done for no other purpose other than trying to promote the hobby and get people interested or keep them interested in it. It seems like we always lose more and more people out of model railroading. It's just not as front and center as it used to be, which I think you guys were kind of talking about that a little bit before I popped on. I didn't catch everything you guys were talking about. I hopped on for a moment and was doing a couple of things.
So Ian is saying, where Heath, I buy power. I'm not sure. Ian, I need a little bit more information. But then Martin says, Mr. Pictovid, are you a sandwich?
He's not a sandwich.
I don't think so, because I don't have a piece of bread on each side of my head. If you get some bread, I could maybe be a sandwich.
Yeah.
Probably be really bad for your health, though.
That's right. A hot dog is a hot dog with or without a bun.
Well, sometimes you're gonna have with buns or without buns, of course, if that's what you want to eat.
Mr. Pictovid does it's been weekly. I'm assuming you're going to keep doing it weekly show with Dakman Productions, who you guys have seen, all about garden railroads and the bigger G scale stuff. But both Mr. Pickford and Dakman, as you can see from behind Mr. Hot Dog, he's got all of his Conrail stuff back there. So we started doing that. We've done 3 shows now. It's supposed to be bi-weekly is what we're doing with it. But our 3rd show would have actually fallen this evening at 8:30, and I went through several different people to see if we could get a guest to come on the show, G-scale related. And most people had plans, and if we didn't do one, we would have gone like 4 weeks without doing another show. So we moved it up a week and did our 3rd one last Friday. So 3 weeks from last Friday will be our next one. 3 weeks is still a decent amount of time to have a gap, but it's better than 4.
Really?
We're just kind of trying to keep a slow pace going with it starting out because it can become overwhelming really quickly. I don't know how some of you guys stream all the time. Life's crazy.
Well, it also, I do this stream on Friday mornings, but it's really more this just, get the community together, meet people, talk about, new stuff and whatever. But my sort of organized show, I will say, where there's a little bit more of a plan to it. I just do once a month because it does take a lot. And I can imagine in G scale too. I mean, there are a lot of people out there, but getting them to come on and schedule stuff and whatever, like HO is one thing, but G scale, there are less.
Yeah.
It's just a fact that they're less.
Yeah, the biggest thing has been, I've become friends with a lot of different people in G scale over the past several years. So I've luckily cultivated at least a short list of people that I can draw from. If I was just going out and, so to speak, cold calling people to say, hey, you want to come on this new show we're doing, I'd probably be coming up short right now.
Yeah.
But right now, I mean, I've got people lined up, I think through the end of January doing a show every 2 weeks. So.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. I do all the work and Dackman looks pretty on the camera,
Well, that's what Dackman does best. He does that with Cross Tankers too. He's been helping Cross Tankers out with their interviews, and all he does is look sexy, and that's his job.
Except for that night he showed up late, all glassy-eyed.
Yeah. So Rich in the chat just said something, and I'll address it. There it is. It just popped up. So it is interesting. We talk about this a little bit, and I agree 100% that the hobby's not dying. I do just think it's shifting, and I think it's in an interesting time in the shift that's occurring that I think like these YouTube channels and the giveaways and that kind of stuff, I think can kind of help keep it going.
I guess dying is a bad word.
RC.
Yeah. It's interesting about the RC hobby too. Like I know, for example, I'll just mention, Model Railroad Hobbyist. I post on their blog, and I think they've got a good site, and they do, post videos, and they host when Ken Patterson does a show for them and stuff like that. And they, they're no longer really print; they're all digital. So I think it's an interesting. I think it's an interesting conversation about like, is the hobby dying or is it not? Which I think it's not, but I also think it's a time that we can kind of look at what we can do to keep it going. Not, let's not just keep it stagnant and keep it where it is, but let's keep it going. So,
yeah, I tend to agree with Lehigh River. More comeback. I mean, in my age group, we didn't have forums like this. I mean, we had more magazines. You could have had somebody within a mile of you, fantastic layout, and never have known them. Whereas nowadays, there's so much more interaction. Comparatively speaking, over the last 50 plus years, I see railroad becoming huge compared to what it was in the 60s and 70s, or at least more open and interactive than ever.
Oh, I agree with you, Steve.
And Steve 87 Pizap talks about like Walters keeps expanding. It's like, this is the 2021 catalog, and I remember getting the catalogs back in the 80s, and this catalog's just as big as it was.
It's like the Sears Wish Book.
Yeah, so
that's the reference book, I think. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's the Model Railroad reference book for
that's the one I'm trying to look for when it comes. I believe I'll order one of those soon.
Yeah, I used to be able to get one free at my hobby shop.
I think I got.
You used to be able to get them free. They're no longer free.
If you join their club, you get the catalog they'll reference for free.
Oh,
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I did that
no
one.
clubs near me. No. Yeah, I looked it up. Yeah.
I think that's the one I'm supposed to be getting soon, right before the holidays.
Yeah, that's what I love that it came out before the holidays, and I just, I'll sit here and page through it a little bit, and
Oh yeah.
I keep sort of joking that there's no like buy it now, right? So if I want to go buy this, item, I actually have to go find it somewhere. I can't just click buy it now.
I know Walters used to make a large scale edition of that, but I think they stopped producing that years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but I remember they used to have a HO, and separate catalog for N.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think they used to have Z. I don't remember.
Well,
pull out last year's. I don't remember them always having Z.
Yeah, Z was brand new in the '90s, I think. I don't know.
Bernard C says, "I'm dying faster than the hobby, and I still fly RC2." Leslie, I haven't looked at the Walters catalog, but I heard they are pulling out of N scale. Oh, interesting.
Bless you.
Oh,
Thank you.
that explains.
Frank, look at my channel for some P and LE and P and WV action.
A little allergies.
Yeah, if people see other people in the chat that they don't know, unfortunately the go to channel option's gone, but just copy and paste their name and go check them out. Hobby is doing fine. Clubs are changing though. Yeah, I think is the hobby dying is a perspective thing. If you go to a club and it's all a bunch of older gentlemen who don't like having kids around for whatever reason.
Careful now, Heath.
I'm being careful how I say it. I'm being careful.
We'll just blame Heath. We'll just blame Heath anyhow. That's all.
Yeah, well, of course. I'm wearing my Blame Heath shirt, so we're all.
I'm turning into that guy. The get off my grass guy. Don't actually get on the porch and yell it yet.
Yeah, but like the NMRA is an interesting place. You look like NMRA just had a meeting, I think in September, where they talked about their focus being on 60 plus. And it's I don't agree with that, but if that's your perspective, it would appear that the hobby's dying. So
Yeah.
And Ian's right. Like, it's not necessarily about the money; it's about the time.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah. Well,
and I think Ray was saying that as well earlier when he was talking about, it's the investment, not just money, but also time.
Well, like, I'll use my granddaughter as an example. Everything's boring to her, but yet she can sit and play on her phone for hours and do nothing.
Yeah,
I don't
Instant
read.
entertainment.
It's boring. Okay. No, she reads a lot because she's in high school. You should have been reading before you set yourself way back. Okay.
So Steve 87th PSAP, I think it has more to do with space and cost. We are getting smaller, and I assume he doesn't mean me because I'm not so sure I'm getting smaller. But we are getting smaller. So
we're all larger after yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. So hobbies have to get smaller, and I think clubs will come back again, but they will be new clubs. So I guess that's interesting about, I'm modeling on a desk. It's like I show this, and it's like this is my modeling area. It's this little space, and I model modules. And you go to the UK. Leslie's not a great example because Leslie has a pretty big layout, but a lot of people in the UK have. Just small exhibition layouts. Let's say I think I'm bigger after yesterday. So I think that the online giveaways are interesting. I'll just mention this was a giveaway I got from DIY and Digital. Did a giveaway, and Frank actually won them. But Frank's HO scale, so he offered to have them sent to me. So it's like I got the, I think if we do more giveaways and we, keep the hobby going. And if there's something you have that, you don't have a need for, to pass it along. Let's see what Tim says. A big problem I've seen at clubs is attitude. Yeah. I don't think I've been to an open house that at least 5 members are standing around with a nasty look on their face, not very inviting. Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I think that's true.
You do see that.
They don't like change.
And the 65 plus crowd is not as tech savvy typically as the younger group. And so there can be a difference.
Yes and no, Steve. I mean, like you said, we got to be careful about that. There are people out there.
I said as a whole. I
know.
I'm very tech savvy. But I'm from the generation that, we did computer punch cards. So if people are older than me, probably didn't even have computer punch cards to play with.
Well, I mean, my dad brought computer punch cards home for me to play with. Like, that was something I had as well. And it's funny. I mean, my dad may be watching, so I apologize for this story, but my dad grew up as a computer consultant, right? I mean, like, he had the punch cards, he had, we had the phones that attached into the computers, the whole 9 yards. But yet, he'll get a phone call saying, like, your computer's been hacked, give us your password and we'll help you, fix your computer.
Those are always fun.
And I think, of course he's on. He just poked in to say, yeah, he's on. So sometimes serious about him. But like, it's like he's a very technical person. He says, yes, I did that too. He's a very technical person, but I do think too, like, the younger generation will just push buttons. Like, we'll just try stuff. We'll just, bang away at stuff or whatever. And it was a little different because when you use punch cards, you had to put the punch cards in the machine in the correct order or your program was messed up. So,
you didn't drop your cards on the way to class.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hopefully nobody would see about that. Of course, most people.
Leslie says, I found the online communities are more open to everyone, whatever age or gender, while clubs still seem to be full of cliques.
I've noticed, like, when you encounter a club that's set up with a module at a train show, I've never felt uninvited when I talk to any of them. I mean, they've gone there with the sole purpose of showing their club off and talking to people and that. It seems like they're always really, really inviting at the shows.
See, it's funny you say that. The last show that I went to, the Edison, New Jersey Greenberg show, I went up to people that I actually knew and had actually been to a club meeting, and one of it was multiple clubs coming together, just because there's, that's the way they do it. And one group of the people that I knew from one club wouldn't really acknowledge me, but the other group of the people did and were very friendly. So I do think it's still very club specific. So there are a lot more options today for hobbies versus when I was a kid in the 1970s. How many people have left model railroading for MSTS, railworks, and trains? I'm assuming MSTS is whatever that's called, the online gaming. I can never remember what it's called, but
I think I tried trains once. I
train
just
sim.
can't get in it. I can't get into the train sim thing. I
can't either.
When my thing's sitting behind me,
I
I
want
can
to
physically
see it
handle.
moving, not be in it or pretending. If I want to do that, I'll get some wood blocks out.
Crazy says, I'm not a follower, but not a leader. I do things my own way. Yeah, I mean,
I feel like graphics,
though. That shows they are nice for the most part. For the most part, sometimes. That's interesting. So John says he found a really inviting club, but it took him 3 years to give him a try. I will say it is a little bit intimidating. I mean, like, if I walked into a club with, my my little N scale with horn hook couplers and whatever, it's like, it's a little intimidating when everyone's got their ESU lock sound locomotives and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It seems like the smaller scales, HON and that things can kind of vary because you got some clubs that don't even want to consider DCC. They all run blocks. Others are the other way around. So sometimes you don't even know if what you're going to go there to run will even run on their layout.
I actually had DCC back in the 90s when it first started, It had the Genesis system from T-Trak.
Mhm.
And I thought, I'll build it to start over here on N. No, I had to have DCC. My mind wouldn't let me, Yeah. You know how it goes.
Hey, Jason.
Joey's saying about maglev trains, and somebody just said that they come from Japan. I don't know if anyone's familiar with them.
Not me, not really. I'm not.
Crazy Joe, I like DCC, but don't have the funds for it. I do think one thing that's interesting about DCC is this whole DCC++ EX. Unfortunately, you have to be a little bit of a computer person to get it set up, but it's a cheaper option.
And then
Jason the Train Freak is here.
As I say, have any of you guys looked at any of the Bluetooth control options that are out there now for model trains?
Don't get the Train Freak started on Bluetooth. He bought a Bluetooth HO train, and he can't get it to work. He said it was dead on arrival, and he can't get tech support for it. And
oh man,
Me either. Well, yep. Heath, I have a
does
question.
anyone want to drop down? Frank came back. I think he wants to say something.
I'll drop down here.
Thanks, Steve.
See you, Steve.
Bye, guys.
See you, Steve.
So Bernard apparently went to Antarctica. He's talking about Bernard, who said there are no hobby shops within 250 to 300 miles from me.
Yeah, I looked it up. My closest one will be either Union Grove or Madison.
One time I think I used to have about 6 within a half-hour drive of me. Now I'm trying to think if there's one.
There used to be a local one. It was in an HO club for like 2 or 3 years. And we go to train shows and everything. That was kind of fun. But then, stuff happened, life got in the way.
Yeah.
Now they all gave it up too.
Yeah, I have 2 that are fairly close to me. Esther's in Millville, PA, which is mainly N scale now. And for HO, I got to drive all the way up by Scott's house.
Well, technically,
anyone remember CTC 16 sold by Man-Made? It was before DCC.
I never heard of that.
No.
Yep, me neither. But
Scott was talking about that before at one time. I don't remember it myself, but Scott was talking about that before.
So, Mr. Pickford, does Bluetooth work really well in G scale? Is it just that Jason the Train Freak was having a hard time with it? Like, do you see it as a way of the future?
I don't know if I see it as a way of the future or not. I see a few people that have implemented it. I don't see it widespread. Right now, I guess to me, it's more of an oddity at the moment. Most people in G scale, we run radio control typically, whether it's onboard battery or fixed voltage track power, but most of us run radio control. We use Airwire or Revolution. There's a new system, Rail Pro, that came out. Like I said, I see a couple companies offering Bluetooth stuff, and it looks intriguing. I've seen demos on it and that, but as far as, usability, how well it works, I'm not 100% sure. That's why I was curious if any of you guys had experienced it in any of the other scales.
Bluetooth has a very limited range, so.
Yeah. Hey, Crazy Joe and ZD Railfan, can I drop you guys down? I got 2 other people that want to come say hello.
Yeah, I'll drop.
Yeah,
me too. I'm going to drop up anyway.
Thanks, ZD, for coming by. Appreciate it.
Hey, you guys, if I don't see you guys soon, I'll probably see you in a few days or so.
Thanks, ZD. Have a great holiday weekend.
All right, bye, guys. Stay safe.
See ya.
As far as your G scale, are you noticing more of the outdoor people, the garden railroaders there, they go into battery, right? Not the powered rail.
Yeah, I run track power myself just because I don't like to have to fiddle around with worrying about charging batteries, but I do have about half my stuff equipped that I can put a battery car behind it and run it if I go to someone's place that runs doesn't have track power. But yeah, most of them after a while, especially if your layout starts getting larger, will go to battery power just because, keeping the track clean, all your connections good and tight.
Especially outside.
Yeah, and plus, if you go battery, if you want to do things like reverse loops and stuff, now you don't have to worry about polarity and all that stuff.
What do you guys do when it snows?
When it snows,
You just
I
run
was
the
going to say it depends on how daring you are. If you want, you get yourself a plow and you start building yourself a wedge plow, and then you can.
That's reality right there.
Yeah, if you look on YouTube, there's a couple different videos you'll see where people have made there were, production made G scale plows, but there's people that have made their own. There's one guy that I want to say he used an 18-volt drill motor and an impeller from a Kirby and made a rotary plow. And
Wow.
When you watch the video, he's like, I'm looking at the arc coming off the snow, and I'm pretty sure it would go over top a 6-foot fence.
Yeah,
and you could hear that thing winding away, and I'm just like, hey, that's pretty wild looking.
That's funny. You get a 1-inch snowfall, and it's like the worst snow of the century. 3 feet on it. G scale.
yeah. I was pretty lucky growing up. My mom worked at an ice cream store, and they had a gift shop in the back, and they had trains in there, and it turned into a train store. So I got hooked quite early. There
are a couple. I know. Train World started out as a barber shop with trains in the back.
Really?
And it then turned into a train show.
Make more money that way.
Yeah, Manny's asking. Manny, no, I'm not, but I probably should, but I'm not.
Just blame Heath.
Yeah,
You started talking. You started talking about Bluetooth stuff. Made me pop up here. I have a Bluetooth board that I put into a G scale locomotive, and I can run it basically all the way to the end of my yard and back.
Oh yeah.
And it's running battery power as well.
It will respond to you at the end of the yard.
Yeah, I've walked more than say 150 feet away from it without any trouble.
Oh, that's pretty good. What's the make of it?
It was from a company called Bluetooth Rails or Blues Rails, something like that. They're company
the one in the HO train
on their boards.
Yep.
But I got it
kind of rings a bell. Yeah.
The hardest sell I have with the Bluetooth stuff is, as much as we're a digital and smartphone society, there's some things I'd just like to have a physical control on, like a throttle knob or something.
Yeah.
I know. With a physical remote I don't have to look at it. I can feel with my thumb where the buttons are and slow something down, speed it up. With the phone, you got to make sure you're looking at it and touching it in the right place. Yeah, I guess my hang up.
The only experience I have with Bluetooth is the speakers I have out in the back in the yard for cookouts, whatnot, and and one in my truck for my phone. And I know if I get away from either one of them, it loses connection with my phone. So maybe it's my phone. I don't know.
It could have to do with the Bluetooth version too. I know the newer versions of Bluetooth have a larger range on them.
Bluetooth 5 has a lot, but it requires more power too.
The tech is going to keep improving. I mean, the first digital train systems that now everybody calls DCC showed up in Germany in the late 70s, and they didn't do much. And now all of a sudden, everybody, you have that divide, but most people are going digital. Now as we're going digital, Bluetooth and other forms of communication technology are going to take over. That's where it's going to go in the long run, somewhere down the line. I sorry to butt in like that. I just wanted to go back to the original conversation because, again, I'm one of the newer people into the hobby. I have only been into the hobby about 4.5, 5 years. And while everybody's talking about money and space, which are definitely issues that can put you off, in America, the hobby is suffering. Even though there's millions of people into the hobby, there's a sense that feels like it's dying more, because when you go to Germany or you go to the United Kingdom, people have trains as part of their daily life, live train. People ride trains to work. People ride trains to travel. In America, the average person is not exposed to trains except when they're trying to get somewhere and a train stops them at a rail crossing. And that is a huge factor in why kids aren't growing up into trains. They don't see the experience. They don't have the experience that they want to recreate. That's what got me into trains in my 50s, is I went to Germany, traveled by train, thought it was awesome, wanted a model train based on what I rode, and all of a sudden I was addicted. Because if you get the kids to touch it and play with it, they might get it. But again, a kid, let's see, $150 for a startup train system, or I can buy 4 to 5 video games. Although nowadays video games can be $100 with special editions, but if you buy them used or whatever, I can get video games. And video games require no space, require no other issues. And so that distraction is there. Yes, we can get on our phones. But if you're a bowler, or if you're a bowler or you're a fisherman, you have all kinds of expenses in your hobby, but you're exposed to it. The people that get into model trains today, 90% of them are exposed to it because a family member's into trains or the family works in the train industry. So grandpa and dad have layouts and you grow up messing with the layout and seeing the fun. But the majority of kids in America have no connection to trains. We gave up the train system for the highway system in the 50s. And since that time, trains are becoming less and less. And even though I'm 55, my dad gave me a model train when I was 8, and it was the boringest toy I had. It went in a circle and did nothing. It was riding trains and experiencing trains firsthand that made me get into it. And yes, the digital aspects of it also appealed to me more greatly. So that was my 2 cents.
Yeah.
One
of the interesting things you said was about you can, get video games. It's like you can download a video game and be playing the game within 5 minutes. If I'm going to buy a train set, I need to buy it. I need to wait for it to ship. It needs to come to me. I need to set it up, whatever. And I do think, too, there is a lot of instant gratification these days.
And America is an instant gratification society. More than any other country out there, we are instant gratification. I want it now, not a week from now or 2 days from now.
Yeah, so while Frank's still here,
I had a hobby shop in the town I grew up in, and if I wanted instant gratification, I went downtown and bought some more trains.
Yeah,
you can go in and browse around and everything.
Andrew, I live in Toledo, Ohio, a city of 330,000 people, and in the 70s we were closer to 400,000 people. We had 11 train shops that strictly dealt with model trains. Now we have 0. But in the 70s, we weren't quite as bad as we are now. That's why there's eBay and Amazon today and not 40 years ago. But again, we used to order something and like from a Sears catalog, and you'd have to wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get it, and that wasn't a problem. Now, if Amazon gives you a 2-day, you're like, 2 days? I thought it was 1 day.
Yeah. We wish we could get it in 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually lived right outside of Youngstown, Ohio, Anthony.
Oh, you guys are all close to me. I'm in Pittsburgh.
Oh, you're in Pittsburgh, yeah.
Sorry, in this house we don't discuss Pittsburgh.
Oh, I feel sorry for you.
Just a little reminder, because I think there's some new people here, but Mike McCarville and Nancy came up with this idea to give away a starter train set. And Frank Steelerfan 820 said we should do that as well. So we're giving away a train set. December 6th, I'll post the entry video, and then December 13th, we'll give it away. We're going to give it away to an adult, but the idea is that it will be given to a kid. Just basically have something under the tree for a kid to enjoy a train set. If people do want to get involved, they can send me money via PayPal. If we get more money that'll cover more than one train set, we'll just give away more than one train set. So,
Question for you on that, Heath.
Yeah.
Just because I'm new to the live stream stuff and that you're talking about the giveaway, what all's involved in setting up and running a giveaway?
The main thing is so there's two main things with YouTube to give away on YouTube. Is one that by Mike just disappeared. One is you can't charge people to enter, and that includes also you also can't. There's a whole thing too about subscribing and whatnot as well. There's a whole thing that YouTube has about you can't do X, Y, and Z. The main things are you can't charge people to enter, and you have to basically state that YouTube has nothing to do with your giveaway, aka
Not affiliated
you
with
can't
it.
sue
Okay.
YouTube for.
So you can't do stuff like, say, you have to be a subscriber to enter the giveaway or something like that, or
Oh, you can do that.
oh, you can do that. Okay.
You can do that, but if you look at the things, it kind of says you can't, sort of, if you follow it kind of to the letter of the law. But I've never seen YouTube. Let's see, YouTube give away.
And it'd be helpful too if the person that wins it knows that the kid likes to enjoy the child they know and likes to see their layout, and wants to be on hands-on and is really impressed by their layout. That's the kind of person you want to reach out to, not the guy like my grandson on Fortnite all night. But find somebody that already shows interest in trains, and that really pulls them in. Because like the other guy said, instant gratification, no exposure to trains. It's the most boring train he ever had, boring toy he ever had. But if you have a kid already in mind that is interested in your trains, that's the kid you could pull into the hobby.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of scares me there when it says must comply with all applicable federal, state, and local laws, rules, and regulations.
Yeah, so you got to know that this is just what the government. This is what some YouTube lawyer wrote, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you're doing the right thing. That's what I just say.
I can't give away an alligator and have somebody in New York win it.
Right. No, exactly. So Steve's got an interesting idea, and Frank, since you're here, I'll question it. So the first set we bought was HO scale, but if we get enough money, maybe we'll buy an N scale set, and we'll give away an HO set and an N scale set.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there you go, Steve. Thanks for sending in the money, and I'll just type it in because it hasn't come up in a while, but it's basically pay.humancity.org will work. So let's see.
Yeah, just to let you guys know, if we fall short of it, don't worry about it. I did tell Heath that I was willing to buy this set outright for us. But then he asked me if the other channel was taking people were offering the other channel to help out, and would I mind letting people help out? And I said, I don't mind it. If we get more than we need, I'll just buy another set or a second set. Or if we get 100 sets, I'll go visit an orphanage. I don't care.
Martin says instant gratification isn't fast enough. Rich says Pittsburgh, greatest city ever. I live west of Pittsburgh in Bonn. Okay, there you go. Everyone has probably heard of the giant rail yard near me where I work, Conway Yard.
I was by Conway on accident a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
There's another guy I want to go see his layout. He lives close enough to me, and he's a Peanut fan as I am.
Who just said they were on Conway for an accident?
No, I said I went by Conway on accident a few weeks ago.
Oh, on accident. That's different. Yeah.
Made a wrong turn and said, hey, there's Conway.
So here's the link if people want to donate for the holiday train giveaway.
And then there's me. I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Where are you at?
I'm in South Dakota.
That is the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. I discovered the other day, looking at a map, that I actually live further north than Sparky does. Sparky's in Canada, but I'm further north. I do have the luxury I do have the luxury of living along what I would call a secondary main. It's not like the main, but it's got a lot of traffic for BNSF right through town. So I get a lot of rail fanning without having to go anywhere.
Oh, that's nice.
And the line in North Dakota has gotten so busy. The line in North Dakota has gotten so busy that we're seeing all sorts of stuff through Aberdeen that we didn't used to.
Yeah. What's his name? Another Pittsburgh guy here has DJ's Trains. He's another Pittsburgh guy that has he works for I'll get it wrong again. CSX. He says that they're picking up too, but at the same time they're starting to lay off people, but they're picking up business. It doesn't make any sense.
One of my friends at the club says you can tell when the economy is about to go up or down by how the railroad's doing, because they get hit first before the rest of it does.
Yeah.
Well, I
He's
did
a really nice guy. I met him in person.
My last video was a rail fanning video, and I remember in February they would have intermodal trains coming through pretty much all day, and I went out there, whatever it was, last Tuesday, and nothing was moving at all. So yeah, trains are interesting. And
last year CSX put an intermodal facility in my town and promised all these jobs and everything else. And ever since it's been up and running, the only thing working there is a security guard.
Yeah,
I'm dead serious. It was a money grab. They were told they would get so much funding from the state if they would put, more business in the area. The steel mills have been closing down, and so they took the money, built the facility, but they don't use it.
Yeah. So everyone's saying that it is my fault. Everyone's agreeing.
Well,
I don't know what's my fault right now, but
I don't say that anymore. But if anybody says it from now on, they have to buy it.
See, that's what I think. If you're gonna use the phrase, you got to buy some gear. Steve Childers bought some, so he's welcome to say it. So
I can say it's all his fault because he came up with that slogan right after I bought a cup for him.
Well, I think everyone kept saying it. I had to take advantage of the opportunity.
I believe that started at your first thing with Tom too, when the stream wasn't working.
Yeah, it wasn't when I was interviewed by Tom. It was the next week after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So many things went wrong, we just started blaming everybody. Yeah.
So Rich says he feels sorry for Frank. He lives in McKees Rocks. Used to be home for the P&LE.
It absolutely was. I sat there and drew him when I was a kid.
Yeah.
How many times the railroad police chased me off of those tracks when I was a kid? I don't know.
I agree with you, Leslie. They keep kids away from trains at train shows. I'm like, I'm defiant. I let kids touch my land at the shows. They can't make it any worse than I'm going to.
Yeah, I'm actually, speaking of that, I'm actually getting, I have the T-Trak DT602D, which is their new, full-size throttle, and I'm getting the utility version of the new throttle as well, the UT6D. And I know the train club that I haven't been to in a while, but that I do go to, they have some UT throttles that they give out, and basically they'll set up the train, they'll program in the address for the kid and then just hand the kid the UT throttle, and the kid can just go, drive the train around. And
I got another idea, Heath, that I want to do, and I have the main part in my hand. We could do this later, but if you know some kid that already is in the train but hasn't taken that step to DCC, we could get a DCC sound equipped loco from Bachman, and I will throw in that. That's Bachman's controller for DCC, so they don't need to go out and buy a whole new set to be on. With this and a loco, they're in DCC.
That's an interesting idea there, Frank.
I'll give this up. I'm in the MRC now, so this just sits over here.
Let's after this stream, maybe I'll touch base with you on Discord, and we'll see we'll see how much people have donated to give away, and we'll see what we can do. But that's definitely an interesting idea.
Because moving up, that's a thing for me too. When I was talking the other night I think it was Cross Anchors. I forget who I was on with. But the move to DCC can be intimidating too, especially for the older folks. But if you since everything's going that way, if you get the kid right into it from the door, they pick it up like it's peanut butter sandwich, easy.
Lehigh River Subdivision is saying that's what SMT mainline uses. Are you talking about the DCC controller?
Yeah,
Ian?
Easy command. Control up to 10 trains.
Oh, really? Up to 10? That's pretty good.
Up to 10 trains, and you would hit the function button and 1 for the bell. 2, when you if I pick loco 3, it'll stay steady lit. I hit the function, it would start flashing whatever loco it's on, and you get bell, horn. 10 would be also functioning with the lights. So it's a fair. It can address up to 10. Whether it can run 10 locos, I doubt it. Doesn't put off enough power, but it can have up to 10 locos stored in it. I think the most I've ever ran off of this was like 3 or 4 tops. And
that's pretty good, though. That's really pretty good.
That's included with a starter set that they sell, or
that comes with a starter set. And that was when I was getting the DCC. I didn't have any DCC locos yet. I didn't know how to put decoders in yet. I had DC, so I went and bought a Bachman's DCC starter set. It was the Digital Commander set that they have out. It comes with 2 DCC locos and that control.
Okay.
Now those locos don't have sound, and there are some sets out there that you have to watch from Bachman. Like they have that Overland Express out there, which has all those cars with it. It's a really nice looking set, but I bought that as well, and it had a problem. Only to call Bachman, and they asked me if it had a wire between the loco and the tender, and it didn't. Because we discontinued that loco 10 years ago. I said they're still selling them. But they couldn't help me with fixing it because it had been discontinued. And that's one of my biggest peeves in this hobby is hobby shops will sell you stuff off the shelf that's brand new. But it might have came out 10 years ago. You don't know, but now it's no longer under warranty.
It is interesting. I know like Crossed Anchors will do a walkthrough of like Dale's hobby shop, and you see stuff that Dale's, I guess they've had for a long time. I don't really know, but it's like really awesome stuff, but then like you may have to upgrade it or whatever to
it's either
run on your system.
It's either out of warranty or you don't know that it's that old and you're paying today's price on it, even though
right. You're paying storage for however long. Hey, Melvin, thank you so much. And I haven't seen I have seen some people that have donated, so I really appreciate that. And I'll go through afterwards, and I'll make sure I track everyone that's donated. And when we open up the bidding, we'll mention everybody's name. So I do appreciate that.
Yeah, the only 2 stipulations is that it goes to a kid and that they be online that night.
Well, no. So I think, Frank, and we'll talk about this more, but I think what we want to do is to open it up to more people. I want to do a entry video, I think, on the 6th, and then we'll give it away on the 13th so that we can reach more people. Just because I know like some people who may like know that kid that they really want to give it to. I don't want them, if they can't be there Sunday, I don't want it to be
I'm sure there's a person out there that's unemployed like me and you at the moment, but I'm doing okay. But they wanted to get their son a train set for this Christmas and just can't do it. There's our opportunity.
Exactly, right? Yeah. And that's why we're going to do it on the 13th. It gives me enough time to ship it out to whoever and get it there.
And you still never physically sent me your mailing address so I can send you those circus cards that I do not want.
I didn't send it to you? Oh, geez, sorry. We got distracted talking about all the giveaway stuff that I forgot.
I have those old circus cards, and I'm never going to use them. They're going to sit in that bin underneath that layout. I'd rather have with somebody that would appreciate them.
I know. I got your address, and I need to put it in my calendar, but or my calendar. What's it called? Contacts.
Yes.
As I say, everything's on sale today, Heath. You need to buy some RAM and upgrade your memory.
You know, I'm really surprised that I looked. And
I'm not putting more money into this computer. I'm.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm waiting. I'm trying to find a. I want a 5600, an AMD 5600X, and a RTX 3070, and I'm gonna build the computer around those, so I don't have any streaming issues. I can load up as many cameras as I want, and because there's stuff that I keep wanting to do with streaming that I can't do.
Like
keep in the bottleneck.
Yeah. We got Allie from Australia stopping in.
Hey,
yeah, Fred even says his computer crashed. He's on his phone now. So, you know, it's a whole thing. Allie's up late.
Technology's great and terrible all at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So guys, I am surprised somebody had brought the Black Friday thing up for Heath there. I subscribe on the email mailing address for Train World and Model Train stuff and Midwest and all these places. The only one that sent me a sale thing was Train World at 10% off. I'm like, what is going on? They're not promoting Black Friday in the train stores at all, except for Train World.
Oh, interesting.
Huh. I did get 2 emails, not particularly train related, but StreamYard and Restream are both having a sale, I think, through the 30th on their
they are.
Their streaming plans.
I got that, Heath. Thank you. Now I know where to send the drone.
And actually, I'm just looking here. One of the places I shop for G-Scale stuff is RLD Hobbies out of Illinois. And I just pulled up their site to look. They're having a Thanksgiving weekend sale, 25th through the 30th. 7% off if you spend $250 to $750, and if you spend over $750, it'll give you 10% off.
That goes back to what I'm talking about, pricing people out of the hub.
G-Scale isn't the cheapest thing in the world.
You could get a piece of track for less than that.
Well, it's interesting to go back to what we were talking about with the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi and all that control stuff. It is interesting to see it enter the hobby in G-Scale, you know, make its way down to the smaller and smaller scales. But then by the time it gets into N scale, it's so expensive because they've made it, you know, so small to get in there. I'm still waiting for, I want Keep Alives to be standard in, you know, N scale locomotives. Just because any little dirt on the track or anything, and you're stuck. And, you know, we haven't been able to get Keep Alives in there yet. And I think I could be wrong, but I think that Keep Alives are probably going to be the standard more before like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and that kind of stuff becomes the standard.
One of the Bachmann locos already has wow sound with a Stay Alive in it. That's that Streamline PRR 462. It has the wow sound Keep Alive already in it. I have it. Of course.
Yeah. I mean, I know like there's a company, Wi-Fi Tracks, that's making Wi-Fi devices for HO scale stuff, but again, it's a whole separate thing. So you got to buy the loco and then upgrade to it. But
I was pretty impressed a couple of years ago. The first N scale locomotive I saw was sounding, and it actually sounded pretty good.
Yeah,
I followed it around the layout, going, "Is there really sound inside of that? How'd they get it in there?"
The only G scale I'll be able to afford anytime soon is go to Walmart and buy one of them under the tree things. The plastic tracks, that's about it.
Yeah, most of my stuff is picked up used and second hand. Yeah, you want to go out and buy something brand new, yeah, it's going to cost a little bit of money. You got to be thrifty.
Yeah, Andy's saying he wants cameras in the locos too. Just while we've got everyone for a second, there is a 5th Sunday this month, so Sidetrack Sunday. The host will be Rick. So if you're available Sunday night at 8 o'clock, let's give Rick some support.
That'll be a good one.
Yeah, I don't know that if it's his first live stream or not, but it's definitely his first one for Sidetrack Sunday.
Well,
I
you know,
keep convincing him that he needs to jump into his beanbag chair, but he keeps saying no because it'll break, and I keep saying exactly that's why you should jump in it.
that other guy, stuff like that makes it interesting. I don't know. That other guy's doing that 24-hour live stream where he's going to raise money and shave his dad's beard if he makes the right on.
I already done
Yeah.
that.
So in 15 minutes, I have to go in 15 minutes. We're actually going out and taking part in a Black Friday sale to buy a new mattress. It's time. So I have to leave at 1 o'clock. But when we get off, I'm definitely going to post GFW Trains is doing a 24-hour live stream for his 2,000 subscriber special. So I checked in with him before I got on here because I wanted to see how he was doing, how peppy he was doing. And I'll just keep checking in on him. But he'll, from 11 a.m. Eastern today until 11 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, he's going to be putting out the content. That's.
I'm gonna get on Saturday morning. I send him an email.
Oh, awesome.
We'll see how awake he is at that time.
Well, how awake any of us will be. Thank God you're using G-Scale. We'll be able to see it.
Cowboy, Claude, TCS makes decoder kits with speakers and keep alives. I believe that's just HO scale though for the keep alives. I don't believe they have an N scale. They have a KA1 that's their smallest keep alive that you can get in some N scale stuff, but I don't believe that there's really a commercially available. And so I will say this too. I think keep alive for N scale, I don't need a keep alive that's going to last 30 seconds. I want to keep alive that's going to last a second. Just get me through the dirty spots.
Right.
When you're talking to keep alive, are you talking some type of software? Or are you talking like
It's a
capacitor?
Yeah. Capacitor.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So like in an N scale, I would drop a ceramic capacitor in it because they're small, but they don't have a lot of duration because they'll discharge very quickly.
When you run track power and G scale, the boards the newer ones have a small capacitor on them because, as you can imagine, it doesn't take long to hit a section where you might lose connection for a moment.
Yeah.
Right. And somebody was saying something about cameras in cars too.
Yeah.
In O scale, Lionel or MTH makes a caboose with a camera and it's Bluetooth camera.
Yeah, they do.
Datman actually has that. Conrail Wide Vision.
Yeah, and my friend actually has that caboose, and I looked at it. That camera could easily be put in an HO. I don't know why anybody has not done that. But that camera is small enough, and the board is small enough you could probably put it in an HO if you just do the power conversion.
Well, what I'm looking to do for N scale, so Silicon Valley Model Railroaders, and Andy can post the link maybe. I think, Andy will post the link. Silicon Valley Model Railroaders does remote sessions, and they've come up with this whole camera thing where they put the battery pack and stuff on a flat car, and then there's a little ribbon that goes to the train or to the front, so the camera can be out front, but the battery pack is out in the back, and it's kind of nice to have that dual the two cars set up.
I got a camera off Amazon about this big. I don't have it here to grab it, but it's about this big, and it's rechargeable, and it's Wi-Fi, and that's how I did my videos. I just decided to tape it to the front of a boxcar and pushed it. But there's that Lionel or MTH, whatever you guys were saying it was, that could very easily be put into a dummy locomotive through the windshield and pushed.
Yeah, and I'd love to get cameras. I'd love to get keep alive capacitor stuff. I'd love to get all that down to N scale, to be able to run it through a tunnel or run them side by side. And I know it's going to cost money to do it, but I think it's kind of.
I've got a friend that talks about from time to time he wants to build an N scale layout and set it up to where there's cameras and everything, and actually have working signals that the trains will read the signals to tell them whether to stop or go, kind of make it all kind of automated. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to build Skynet by the time he's done. But
yeah, I mean that's what this is all about, is being able to do block detection on every section of on every module of track, and I'll be able to do some automation with it. it'll be limited because I have a limited layout, but I just want to sort of play with the technology.
Oh yeah.
The only way I'll be able to do it is with IR sensors. I'm not getting into all that Arduino stuff, so it's just going to be IR sensors.
This is all through DCC and JMRI right now. But yeah. So Andy's posted this link to a YouTube video. This is a live op session from Silicon Valley Lines Railroad. And they've got all of these like headset systems and radio systems and all kinds of really cool stuff. And so you could run live streams remotely is basically what they're doing. Yeah, so Ali's talking about like the Keep Alive, the TCS Keep Alives, they're great and they'll keep the power on for a long time after the track's off, but I don't need that.
No.
I just want the sound decoders to be able to stay on through a little bit of a dirty spot.
That sucks. You hit a dirty spot, your headlight shuts off, the sound's off, and you start over again.
Yeah.
Even if the coast past it, you lost your lights and everything else.
Right. So,
but the TCS is crazy. When I have that locomotive on the layout, I'll forget that it's actually on there, and I'll walk out of shut the power off and go to walk out of the room, and I'll hear it.
It's still going.
It's still running.
Yeah, that's funny.
You have to watch it. You have to watch in G scale if you're battery power and radio control. I've seen guys that, they're all done running. They set their loco on a table or something, and they start showing someone the remote and don't think about it. Next thing you know, they run their locomotive off onto the floor. So you got to be mindful of that.
And I do think, Fred, I think it'd be nice to do community remote sessions. And Jack has actually started doing that a little bit on his railroad. But yeah, I think we're going to see more of it. I think it's going to definitely get more common.
All right, guys, I'm going to go. My power just at 5%, and everybody got real dark.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump out as well in a second. Hey, Brian, you want to come up here real quick?
And then there were two.
Mr. Hot Dog. I think that's so funny. Like, I don't. AK, see ya. Mike says, see ya. Yeah, so I'll be on for another 8 minutes. I just sent the link to Brian, see if he wants to pop up here for a second. But if you don't know people in the chat, please go subscribe to them. There's a lot of great, modelers out there.
There's Mike.
Spread the hobby. Mike's got his beard back, so we can all recognize him now. If you want to donate to the giveaway, John from Schuylkill River Valley just put up the link. Frank and I will see how much we get, and then we'll figure out exactly what we're going to do and go from there. Mike.
Hey.
Don't hit your head on the fan above you. It looks like you're like an inch away from the fan.
Actually, I am pretty close.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, he's pretty close, isn't he?
I didn't realize. I've never really stood underneath this fan before. Let me move over here so I don't jump on accident and get all excited.
Hey, John from Schuylkill River Valley, can you start posting GFW trains link just so as people are jumping off, they can go head over there?
Oh, yeah. They just put a pie on his face.
They did do it.
Yeah, they're already over $100 in donations. And they're donating the proceeds to everything they get today to a veterans organization.
Oh, wonderful.
Well, he's going to lose his beard.
Yes, he is. Someone donated $50 not too long ago.
Oh, wow. Wow,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
awesome.
They're having a good time over there. Whew.
It refused to connect.
Blame Heath.
Yeah, blame me again. Try this one. You can keep talking, Mike. Sorry.
Oh yeah, it was exciting.
I'll have to go back and watch it on the replay.
I have to say, I never realized there was such a large community around live shows on YouTube. I didn't really see much of it until Dackman started telling me he was going to be on your guys' channel, Mike, and I started watching. And then, of course, I came across Heath and a bunch of other people, and now Dak and I are doing a live show. I didn't realize how much of a community there was there.
Yeah, well, we didn't get really into it until after we saw GFW going live basically every day. And that's actually how I started getting more involved with like watching YouTube, because Brian used to watch YouTube all the time, and I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. And he was showing me this live stream, and I was like, oh wow, this is actually kind of fun. So then I started paying attention because they were doing the Best Fridays. But I don't know if you heard the story, but they're one of the ones that like got us inspired into trying to make our own, because we didn't really have a YouTube at all before that. And that started back in like March for them. And then we didn't get ours up and going until June.
Yeah, you guys have really, really grown your channel out in a short amount of time.
Yeah, I think they're about to pass me.
I think we're at 703 the last time I looked. But
Yeah, I was at like 721, and then all of a sudden I was back down to like 714. I was like, what's
that's
going
because you
on?
started talking about it.
I know, exactly.
The
Exactly.
second you bring it up, you drop 5. It is the way of things.
It's kind of like Fight Club. You don't talk about Fight Club.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
the links I'm posting in the chat aren't working, I do have the direct PayPal me link in the description as well. But yeah.
So I'm trying to think, what is today? Today's Friday. So you guys have your show tomorrow night, right, Mike?
Yeah, our show is tomorrow night for Late Night with Crossed Anchors. We're doing an interview with another veteran, Cat Nuts, Southern Yankee Railroad.
I'm glad he dropped the cat nuts.
Yeah, that's all I ever call him now. He's like, I don't know why you dropped the name off of your channel, but you're Cat Nuts forever for me.
Yeah, I was confused on that at first when he kept saying that, and I'm like looking at the chat. I'm like, who are we talking about?
Yeah,
people in the chat,
originally.
feel free to post up. People in the chat, feel free to post up your channels, like what's going on your channel, why people should subscribe to you, or any of that kind of stuff. What's coming up, any contests, any of that sort of stuff. Claude says no trackside tomorrow, and Mr. Pickford, you said you're not going live tonight, right?
No, not tonight. It won't be for another. I'd have to look at my calendar, like 2 weeks from now. I want to say be our next one we do.
But Mike, you are going to do tomorrow night.
Yep, and then we'll be on, of course, tonight, Heath, with you on GFW's channel.
That is true. We will be giving George a hard time tonight at about 11 p.m.
Yeah, because they're central, and so they told us 10, so that should be 11. Yeah. So that'll be fun. I thought
I am going to jump on there tomorrow.
I keep joking with him that he's not going to be able to get us to go off because we won't stop talking.
He's probably going to need some help staying awake at that point, I would imagine.
I mean, he looked like he was full of energy and vigor when he started the stream here a little bit ago. I'm just curious how long it's going to be before it starts wearing off on him.
Yeah, he was already yawning.
I saw that.
Mean, this takes some work to do, so it's.
It does.
I did see
24 hours. That's crazy.
I did see they broke their stream up into 2 streams because of the limitation on YouTube, I guess.
Yeah, well, I told them that.
I mean, it looks like you can stream longer than 12 hours, but your video won't be available for playback because YouTube cuts it at 12 hours, I guess.
Oh, so it's the playback issue. It's not so much the
Yeah. When I looked,
I thought it had to process.
Well, yeah, we'll have to process too. But what I had looked up and found was if you go beyond 12 hours, like YouTube doesn't support having a saved video that long, so it doesn't get archived for replay.
So that'll be good. By the time we're on tonight, Mike, we can talk bad about them, and it won't be recorded, so nobody will know.
That's too funny. Oh yeah, he'll be sleeping, and we'll be over there talking.
I feel bad. I'm chatting with Dakman. He says he's missing all kinds of shows today because he has to work.
Yeah, I mean that's well, I got to go buy a mattress, so I need to head out myself. But thanks everyone who came up on the panel, and thanks everyone in the chat. Pay it forward. It's the holiday season, and it's an interesting year. So, if you can, find somebody that wants to be in the hobby and go out there and, pay it forward. So, hey, nice flag, Mike.
Thank you.
Looks like a nice day outside there.
Yeah, it's like almost 70.
Dang.
Wow. It feels like it's about that here too. So
it's exciting. That's why I was like, ooh, I'm going to go hang out outside for a little bit while I'm talking to
y'all. Anyone that still wants to do a little live chatting, please head over. Why sometimes words are hard. Head over to GFW stream.
Words lives matter.
It's that whole brain to mouth connection. It just sometimes doesn't work very well.
It's not like English is our first language or anything.
Oh man.
That's funny. Yeah, we'll be over at GFW's channel. I know Brian's over there hanging out right now.
Awesome. I'll see everybody later. Thanks so much, everyone, and have a good holiday.
See ya.